Hello, and welcome to our exciting Zelda trailer discussion from the Direct on September 13th. We are here with a lot of amazing content creators and Zelda YouTubers. How about we just go around the table and introduce ourselves?
I'm Austin John of the YouTube channel Austin John Plays. We're going to talk about Zelda today.
Yeah, I'm Conrad of the Commonwealth Realm, and I'm glad I can wear this again. Yay, the bet's over.
I'm Dr. Wiley. I mostly make Zelda and Mario videos. More Mario nowadays than Zelda, but the good old days there was a lot of Zelda. But that's coming back now because Breath of the Wild sequel.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, I'm HMK. I do a lot of Zelda content along with that of Kingdom Hearts content, and I'm incredibly hyped to talk all things Zelda with the sequel to Breath of the Wild with some great friends and colleagues when it comes to Zelda content creation. I'm holding it in right now. Sorry.
Awesome.
My name is Don. I have a channel called Monster Maze, and I cover mostly Zelda, some other stuff in between. But yeah, that's what I do. So I'm very excited for this.
Hey, my name is William. I run the channel Nintendo Black Crisis, and I do a lot of Zelda theories, and sometimes branch out to other stuff, and just analysis content in general, so great to be here.
Awesome. Well,
I kind of want to redo mine.
I mean, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Do it now.
You were just like, I am Austin.
I am Austin of Austin John Plays.
Hi, I'm Austin John of the YouTube channel Austin John Plays. This is my second time trying to do this. I do tutorials and tips and tricks for AAA Nintendo titles, mostly of the Legend of Zelda and Pokemon franchises.
So I say let's just jump into it because I know we have like a lot talked about, a lot to talk about. So let's just get into it. The first thing, guys, what was your like general impression about the trailer overall? Like we got a brand new trailer for the new Zelda game, which is now titled Tears of the Kingdom, and it comes out May 12th next year. Crazy. Anyone want to just hop in and say what they want to say?
We got so little and so much at the same time. We have a name. We've been waiting 5 years for a name. 5 years for a name. Now we finally have a name. It's Legend of Zelda, same syllable count again.
Oh wait, you're telling me it's not the sequel to Breath of the Wild? I thought it was the name. What?
No,
I feel cheated.
We've been putting in the YouTube gaming input box for the last 5 years.
You know, it's funny because Breath of the Wild 2 has been growing on so much as a name. I feel like it's a lot better than like one of those times when we had to call it Zelda Wii U or Zelda U. And I was really like, half of me was thinking, like, man, what if it's actually Breath of the Wild 2 because they call A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, Traverse of the Gods 2 over in Japan. But personally, I love the name Tears of the Kingdom. It's something I don't think anyone could see coming because, man, like, people were getting wild with all these different names like Bond of the Triforce, Death of the Wild, you know, Breath of the Darkness and whatnot. So even though, like Austin said, we got so little, we still got a lot. And I'm pretty happy on what we got because of not what we saw, but what it means for, like, the greater, I would say, marketing road for Tears of the Kingdom.
I feel like if you're a more, I guess, like a casual fan, that trailer would be a bit disappointing because we really did not get a ton. But like, if you are into the story, like, there's a ton of questions, which Nintendo is really good with these trailers because they drop stuff and it's like they give us answers, but they give us even more questions, and they keep things very vague.
Well, I mean, yeah, the trailer was a combination of a lot and not that much, depending on how much you know about Zelda, of course, and like how much you like to dig. But in my opinion, I like how they went from like 2019 to where we are now with the trailers. And since the new trailer has dropped, I've also watched the old ones again, and then all of them in chronological order. And if you do that, then you get like a big scope and a big idea of it all. So I think it's just like little breadcrumbs that eventually lead to the gingerbread house, which is overwhelming. That's kind of how I feel.
They definitely do seem to have more of a format this time around because if you compare it to Breath of the Wild, like the first teaser was just like to show off, like these are the new graphics, this is new style. Then we got that like Game Awards like gameplay demo, which wasn't even complete. Like there was a lot of stuff missing. Like it felt a lot more like they were just kind of fumbling. Like oh, we're gonna just show something here, show something there. With the sequel, with Tears of the Kingdom, it really feels like more planned. You know, all teasers are about the same length, and they show just enough. But also, like Austin says, it shows very little actually.
But guys, you got to keep in mind that for all the marketing, the E3, the treehouse, and everything that was shown for Breath of the Wild, that was only the Great Plateau.
Yep.
Yeah.
You saw nothing of the entire scope of that game.
And then I feel like a big
The difference
like,
here in marketing is very simple. We know the world of Hyrule already, so obviously whatever we see on the surface is like, okay, what has changed on the surface? Because we know every inch of that territory. But what I would say about this trailer is that lengthwise it was sort of not that much new outside of obviously the big carving section. But what I felt like was beyond expectations was that we got the title and the release date. I did not expect the release date in September. I was thinking, okay, they're gonna wait with this until the holiday season is done. It's probably not in the very beginning of spring, so they can wait until the first direct of the year. They didn't do that, and I have to say, that's a ballsy move, especially with the reputation and delays that Zelda usually gets into.
Oh, we have a release date. You know, that means the game is done, right?
yeah.
Localization.
It's probably gold, yeah. Well, not gold, but like localization is probably the only thing left to do.
They're doing
Yeah.
testing, they're cleaning things up, they're going over enhancements, bug fixing. Like,
They're adding all the
game's
Korok seeds.
The Korok.
That's why.
What do you mean? We have to find all 900 tiers of the kingdom.
That's why it's not releasing
Oh,
soon.
no.
Just seeds.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like Twilight Princess, where you have those in between Twilight sections where you gotta gather those
The
tiers,
tiers of
but it's like
light.
900 of them.
With the worst battle theme ever known to Zelda.
I hate it.
Also,
Oh,
we're sure
balls.
that it's tiers of the kingdom and not tears of the kingdom.
No, it
It's
is
tiers.
Yeah.
It's
It has to be
tears.
tears.
You know, it's funny because my brother called me up during stream. He's like, "How do you know it's not tears of the kingdom?" Before Japanese, my Japanese friends told me, they're like, "No, it's tears." And I'm like, I hate that you put that in my head because it kind of makes sense considering that the land is being torn up. So like
Yes.
tears of the kingdom of Hyrule. But then from the Japanese speaking crowd, they're like, "No, phonetically it's tears, like
I-
the
Oh, no,
same
that-
thing as crying."
It is.
That was like
It
a
is
huge
pretty
threat
funny.
yesterday.
I anticipate we'll get an official pronunciation of the title once they like release like trailers with the commercial voiceover of the like the people like narrating the trailer.
Right.
So either tear or
It
tear.
is. It is kind of funny though. It is funny how we had to do all this detective work, like get some Japanese speakers in there just to find out what the actual title of the game
Well,
is.
it's just the thing that like Nintendo, like the Japanese side of Nintendo, just doesn't think about at all. They're just like whatever, title out there. Yeah, they'll understand it means tears.
Well, this is the
Right?
first time this has happened, right? Like, I don't think there's ever been a Zelda title where, like, obviously, like with the older games, some people say Ocarina, some people say Ocarina, but we all know what it's referring to the same
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
you know? This is the first because I uploaded my analysis video and then I saw the discussion, like, and I was like, did I say it wrong? Did I just say
No.
tears?
No, it is tears.
Am I the fool?
This is not like a Zeltik situation who gets bashed like every time he makes an Ocarina of Time video because he says Ocarina.
Ocarina.
All British do that. All
Right.
Yeah,
British,
it's weird as hell,
YouTubers do
man.
that.
He gets bashed for it so much. And I just say Ocarina, and then people in the comments go nuts. I
Good.
find it hilarious, though.
It's not Ocarina. It's not Ocarina. It's
helps, like-
Ocarina. Like, ugh.
But okay, since we're talking about how to pronounce it and what, I think the reason is quite simple. It's because of the mechanic. How do you get up from the surface up to the sky? It's because of the teardrops that we see when you get to the spiral positions, warp points, and then go up to the sky.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That is
Well,
one of
it's one, well, it's one way, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one.
That's
Yeah,
an
that's one way.
interesting thing.
It's a
I hadn't
metaphor.
thought
It's
about
a
that at
metaphor.
all.
Mm.
Well, I mean, you see in the trailer, you see that like what seems to be a drop of water, but who says that's water?
Yeah, I feel that's literally a tier of the kingdom. And at the very, very end of the third trailer, there's like this spot all the way at the bottom of the screen where people are
Yeah,
like, "Yo, what's
yeah.
that?" It's like glowing green or whatever, and then they
Like
can
some
go
sort
in
of
line.
portal thing. It's
Yeah, it can
either
go
for
in-
like up or down.
Yeah, exactly. It goes in line with Conrad. What Conrad's saying is like that's a place where you can go into like teardrop mode. A lot of people were calling it Oasis mode when like Link is able to like, you know, shoot up and then like literally swim through land to get to the top of a part. People were calling that like Oasis mode or something like that. It was just a fan name, but that could be just like a teardrop, like, you know, literally crying in reverse. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
I'm really curious how that mechanic will work. It literally breaks my brain still, because I've seen the trailers again, all of them, and then I see Link like popping through the goddamn floor, and I'm like, whoa.
Apparently there's patents for it. I don't know if it's like straight up confirmed that those were actual patents towards Tears of the Kingdom, but it shows like how the mechanic works and that it won't
Donnie,
work
you
properly.
did a video on that, right?
Yeah, I did a whole analysis of it, and it is indeed tied to the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom for sure. But basically, what it does is it's a way to you can travel you can travel through all sorts of material depending on the type of material that it is and the slope and the angle of the like it's very interesting. I also think that probably that's the whole hook of the game itself. That's what I'm at least expecting. Like you have all these different islands and they're all at different altitudes, and there's going to be more than one way to get to them, because we already see an example in this new teaser where he reverses the motion or time on that stone and then rides it up onto the island. That's one way to do it. That's one way to get to one of those types of islands. But I'm sure there's going to be more ways to do it. Like the higher the island gets, you need a new type of ability to do it. You can find like pieces that fell off these islands, and you can reverse the motion on it, travel up to one of those
It would be
islands.
interesting if levels were like some sort of like staggered, like as in like you work your way up in terms of abilities, but also in terms of height.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
That would be crazy.
Well, you guys did pay attention to how the Master Sword looks in the logo, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
How the hilt is perfectly intact, and then you see the destroyed or the damaged part of the sword, and then after the Z, you see just the outline of this mysterious seafoam green energy that we've been seeing
Technoblade.
everywhere.
Yeah, Technoblade.
Nah, man, it's Twilight magic.
Oh god, the amount of people I see like shilling the Twilight theory. I don't buy it that much.
Wait, is she coming back?
I don't know about her.
Probably
the
not her
magic.
generation.
It's-
Probably not a generation.
No, unfortunately not.
But it's funny.
Descendants.
It's funny how Austin brings up the whole logo where it shows like the Master Sword and then becoming that green thing. If you actually zoom in and then go to the diamond part of within the Z, like the middle part of the Z, you can actually see that like it doesn't like truly connect to the rest of the green part of the sword. Like it's like all the holes and stuff. Like you can see like two holes if you zoom in all the way. So like, I feel that the Master Sword is gonna remain messed up for a good portion of the game, and that the bottom part of the logo is like, okay, the blueprint in order to like build it anew, because this is the farthest reaching title in the series and whatever timeline it takes place. So I mean, it could be finally time after 35 years, the Master Sword could get a makeover finally. So this could be something that could like point in that direction.
I want to add on to that. Like I want to say that maybe we haven't seen the full like new form of the Master Sword in its new like shape. I think maybe like we haven't yet to see like what it's gonna actually look like once the game further progresses. Because I feel like there's gonna be more like like secrets to uncover. Because we don't. Because first off, we don't even know anything about this game.
Ooh,
I mean,
I'm just thinking.
like Austin said, we've scratched the surface of it all, just like we had with Breath of the Wild before that came out. Like people had all kinds of theories of like, oh yeah, this is like the Wind Waker timeline because there's like rock salt and that's from the sea and like like all that crazy stuff, and it was just all baloney, absolute baloney. 'Cause we didn't know anything at all, and I think that will be the case this time as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, check it out. You know how there's a lot of people that were theorizing, going off the concept art for the original Breath of the Wild, in which Link was like partly robotic, but yet he was able to utilize like different forms from his arm and whatnot. What if they were to adapt that concept towards the new Master Sword, in which as the broken state, it can gain like a type of like something built upon that turns into different forms. Like the Master Sword could become a hammer, or the Master Sword could become a drill, or anything like that. Because like the blueprints, like the schematics and the logo looks like it could, change into different things. Because
Shapeshift.
like yeah, because
Yeah,
like
that
you know,
makes
Energy.
the-
It's not something physical.
right? Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
like that.
In fact, we
Spiritual.
in
Because
fact we've
it's-
already
it's
we've
not
already
symmetrical.
seen- yeah, plus we've already seen something like this. You know, the Guardian weapons in Breath of the Wild. They're like energy weapons. They're not really physical. You know, so there is something there that they could like. The
And
Master
none of
Sword
them are
just gets an
symmetrical
extension.
either.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like a part of that that original concept art, which looks very sci-fi, like Link is half cyborg. I don't know if any people watching have seen it, but I assume most of you have seen it. In that art, you also see some sort of like dragon hand mouth thing unit, and you see that in one of the earlier trailers as well, spewing fire at some sort of underground creature. It seems underground. Doesn't. Have
I feel
to be
it's an
underground,
upside
but-
down like. It's a like hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
You're talking about the what's probably like a shield
It's
attachment.
the blue one,
right?
right? It's in the
Yeah.
blue one.
Yeah. Yep.
Blue one.
Yeah.
Austin like bringing out the books for this one.
Well, we need
Oh,
to
yeah.
Bam! Here come the deep.
We're about to get.
we need
we're
the
about to
sources.
we're about to get schooled here.
If I am wrong, I will cry.
No, you're right. I like that art Wiley is like burned into my head. So like there is one of those like things there. My creating a champion
Yes,
in the back.
found it.
I think we're not
Oh,
gonna.
yeah,
we also have like the motorcycle.
No!
link.
Let's go.
Cycling.
Well, that also happened. What do you like
I'll
it or not? That happened.
No,
I love
Zero.
no, I love the bike. I'm not fond of that design of Link, like
Oh, yeah, it's a
with the snowball at the end and
it's a little
the
too
cap.
modern.
Censor.
I'm not a
Censor.
fan. I'm not a
Censor.
fan of Naked Link.
Yes.
Put it away. Put it away.
No censorship.
Demonetized. Demonetized.
But it's
That
just
outfit
so
of Link
wrong.
actually reminds me a bit of what is that game again where you like skate around and do spray paint stuff like
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio. It
Jet
reminds
Set
me a
Radio.
lot of Jet Set Radio.
Oh, I
And
love
that's not a
Zelda
good
game
thing
with
for a
that.
Zelda game.
I wouldn't mind it, but yeah.
That was just one of the designs they were
Alex be like, I
contemplating.
like the new stuff.
I want modern Zelda, but I'm just kidding.
What do you
I
mean?
want the
Breath of the
UFO.
Wild is modern Zelda.
It's-
If you want
Cyberpunk
sci-fi
Zelda.
stuff, it's right
Kinda.
there.
It's kind of a mix of old and modern, which I like. Anyway,
Yeah,
how about
it's
we
a good
just
balance.
how about we just get into our next topic? It's like our thoughts about what the trailer we just got, like anything that stood out to us that we were like, ooh, that was like interesting, like the mural, like the.
Oh,
the
I got
footage.
one.
Go for it.
I got one.
Go for it.
So I was actually thinking about this last night because I couldn't sleep, right? So the moment in the trailer where Link opens up that big door and then like they had the really nice lighting in which like the blinding light comes in, but then it like what do you call it, stabilizes as you move forward and whatnot. I don't know about y'all, but that gives me the big vibes that just like in the beginning of Breath of the Wild, you know, when Link runs out into Hyrule for the first time and then you hear the
Definitely got
music.
Shrine of Resurrection.
That's the start.
Yeah, and then it
Right.
says Breath of the Wild as you're looking at the thing. I feel that that's the segment for Tears of the Kingdom that it will begin in Tears of the Kingdom, where he opens the door, looks out, and then looks down on Hyrule, and then everything's messed up, and it's like Tears of the Kingdom. Dun, 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 dun. I feel that's the thing that stuck with me a lot from that trailer. I mean, of course, a lot of things
Oh,
like
Wait,
you could
hold
definitely
on.
be right there. You could definitely be right there because the next shot where the camera like snaps to a front view and he jumps off the island, that's not in the same location at all. That's like a
Yeah.
little bit of
Yeah.
editing trickery that they do.
Yeah, there's
And
gonna
I-
be trickery.
If I had to guess, they probably made that cut over there because they're trying to obscure like a plot point.
oh,
like,
definitely.
yeah.
You know what's actually very interesting about that shot? When I saw it, I didn't realize it, but today somebody from my Discord server like messaged me and said, if you look at the section where he walks out the door, you see that platform right before him when he walks sort of into the sunset.
Mhm.
That platform is basically exactly the same as that platform of that mysterious creature we see
Are
at the
these the
beginning
same
of the
book?
trailer. I don't know, man. I ain't an encyclopedia.
I'm
Hold
pretty
on,
sure these are the exact
I need
same
to
book.
find this.
Let me see.
All right, everybody, grab your books.
I have the
All right.
Japanese one. I have Masterworks.
I got 4 Zelda books.
These are the same
Hold on.
book.
I
I'm
have
Dark
gonna-
Horse
I'm
creating
gonna
a
write
champion.
I have
blue
the
and black.
OG one.
All right,
Oh.
I'm not gonna grab books and everything. I'm not gonna. Me and
I'm not-
Donnie, you know.
This is a Zelda chat.
We're
This is what we do.
No, we're just gonna chill. Like, we people from the Netherlands are laid back. We don't have time for all this rush and hurry at like
Well,
11 p.m.
I just did a 40-minute video about the books. I'm not touching them again for at least a few months.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
All right.
I can imagine you're done with
Which
them.
book are we?
Yeah.
Getting? God, these weigh a freaking ton.
Yeah, they are
What else
heavy.
would it be?
Hang on.
Like,
We
we're
need
looking for a
one where
concept
we
out
can
of Link,
see-
right?
I'm
So,
assuming.
you know what? I'm just gonna Google this. Like,
I'm assuming.
good
that-
luck with y'all,
Oh, wow.
and we'll be a lot faster.
Yeah, but it was never in the book because I remember the image, but did they never have
Yeah,
it in the book?
I'm not seeing it in.
Everybody
Any of
you.
watching this video, get your books out.
Yes, I found
There
it.
will be a test
immediately.
on this.
I don't. The claw, yeah, the dragon mouth thing is in the artwork. Wait, can I? No, that doesn't work really.
No, I
thought
remember
share
now.
screen, but...
It
Wait,
was in the
aha! I have
GDC conference, yeah.
GDC.
Oh, it was,
GDC
only, it was
conference.
only at GDC. Okay, so it's not in here.
No,
Oh,
not just.
there it is.
Big brain.
I
It's
could've-
it's in
I
the
That's
could've-
GD.
I could have
It's in the
sworn it was-
GDC.
Yeah,
And you
sorry,
even
go
see a
ahead.
broken master sword. It's perfect.
I could have
Broken
sworn
master
that picture
sword. This
was...
like arm thing.
Okay.
It's okay. I just ran out of energy. Just wait a bit. It'll recharge again.
I
It'll
think it
just
was.
grow.
As far as I know, it was only shown at the GDC and in the making
yeah.
of Breath of the Wild documentary. They show
Yeah.
it briefly there too.
Well,
I only
that could be
remember
why
seeing-
it's not.
I only
Well, you
remember
can
seeing it in
also-
the making video.
There's also like a version of him that like has no arm. So I think a lot of the stuff that like they had in mind for Breath of the Wild is just being reused at this point for Breath of the Wild 2, which I'm not against.
You know they said that exact sentence, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, well,
that's why
glad
the
I can
sequel happened.
repeat them verbatim.
Yeah, they had so many ideas for Breath of the Wild. That's the reason they decided to do DLC.
Oh yeah, that's true.
and then they
said
had
that, yeah.
even more ideas, so
And
they
then-
decided to make the sequel.
Make a
Well,
whole
even
game.
even without that, like they were already using ideas that they had like scrapped for the main game because the motorcycle.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
we,
that- yeah,
we
yeah.
already had
DLC.
like proof of them reusing it.
We
So
got the motorcycle earlier.
Well, in fact,
Like at the
they
beginning-
confirmed.
Oh my god! Imagine. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead on our topics, but I
You're good.
wonder if this sequel will allow us to like if we have save data of Breath of the Wild. I wonder if the game will read our save data. Like, oh hey, you have save data in the DLC. Do you want to bring over the master cycle? And I'm like, heck yeah! And I'm like, but like,
That
No,
would
I
be
don't. I
dumb.
don't. I don't.
it won't work.
It could
It
be,
won't
but I
work.
don't think so.
No, it
Because
won't.
You
like
can slay this
usually,
on.
it's the same reason why, for example, in like a game like God of War 4, you all of a sudden start off like with no power at all. Because if you just import all the powers and all the stuff from like previous games, then it would just be.
But from what I
Yeah.
seen, Wiley, from what I seen, a little bit of spoilers, but I'm not gonna be specific. But weapons that you get at the end of God of War, you start with in Ragnarok.
Yeah, but you don't get the same power. They're like the same
No,
add-ons.
that's,
and, like,
that's every
runes
God
and-
of War. You start
Yeah.
off God of War OP, you get stripped of powers because of plot reason. You have to get all your powers back.
Yeah, all right, that's true. With a lot of
Yeah, but I
older
mean,
games,
but we're talking physical items here.
Yeah.
Like he has a little bit more than the Leviathan when you start Ragnarok.
Okay,
from
hang
what
on,
I
hang
gather.
on. Let's
Okay.
let's think about this.
this is not a
from-
God of War video.
Yeah.
So for
I-
Breath of the Wild transitioning to Tears of the Kingdom, let's think
Yeah.
of this as a linear timeline. Let's think of the events of Breath of the Wild. Things transpire, what we see in Tears of the Kingdom. What have we seen? Zelda and Link go down some creepy ass basement. There's some big bad that down there. Boom, he no longer has an arm. He wakes up, similar doors opening as we saw for the Shrine of Resurrection. Now we're floating in the sky. I think it's safe to assume that there is some period of time passing between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
talking an extensive 9,900 years, like the Great Battle difference there, but like something went down.
Yeah.
Also, have we seen Link on the ground?
Yeah, we have.
yeah,
We
Yeah,
have
in-
seen
in the
enemies
sequel.
on
Yeah.
grass, but do we know that grass is not on the ground?
He's
Uh,
been, he's been
He's
on,
been
like,
on Death Mountain.
He-
I've seen him
He's
on
been
Death Mountain.
fighting those enemies
I
with
remember
the
that
new
one
powers.
clip from
That one,
From last year's trailer, he was like on like ground, like using like a reverse power up to like
Time reversal.
Well,
Yeah.
that
Oh
one
yeah, that's true. That's true.
well,
When fighting
that
with
one we
Goblin.
don't know for sure though, because
if it's like
it
on
could
ground
be
or the land. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
because we do see him. In fact, Zeltik actually traveled to all kinds of different locations from the trailer, and one of them most definitely takes place in Farron, like on the ground in Farron. Plus, we also have that shot in the previous teaser where he's paragliding, and there's like that huge what is it
Palace
called?
fort.
The stone
yeah,
talus,
stone
with
talus,
the
yeah.
with the bokoblins on it.
that's
Yeah.
it.
That's
pretty
on Hyrule Field. So he
Yeah.
yes, the answer is yes. We do have him on the ground at least once.
But for the most part, we actually haven't seen him on the ground. Like what most of these trailers, like Austin brings up a really good point. Like for the most part, we haven't actually like most of the time he's in the air, which is how big are these islands gonna be in terms of like comparing it to the map that we all know and love from Breath of the Wild. That's one thing I really want to know because
Well, there's one shot.
6 years,
There's one shot where you see, like, where he steps onto that little, bird paraglider thing, it's the very last shot in the new teaser. You can see one of the islands, like, in the distance, and it's already quite, like, a bit
Yeah,
further away
it's-
than
it-
everything else.
Yeah,
It's the size of an entire province.
Yeah,
in-
it's
in the
really
land.
big.
It's huge.
It's
big.
huge.
It's big.
You
So
know,
And
there's
then-
definitely big ones.
in
One
the
thing that
trailer. Oh, sorry, Wally, go ahead.
No, Giovanni, my sweet, go.
I was just gonna listen. I was just gonna say, like in the trailer, there was like tornadoes that are possibly blocking islands we couldn't get to at certain points. So I mean, like I feel it's gonna be a progressive thing. So that's all I wanted to say.
Welcome, my boy.
Also,
One thing I
go for it. Go for
Oh,
it. Go for it. Yeah, I'll talk after you. Go for it.
one thing I noticed in the trailer, which I found interesting, but I don't know if it actually plays like a big role in it all. Because like in the original Breath of the Wild trailer, they did a similar trick. Sheikah Towers gone, shrines gone. Like the end of the shot, yeah. This exact area, I went there as well. I did as I pulled a Zeltik. And I went there, and below there you can still see the stable, you can see the swirly thing, which is new, you can see some sort of like the lady on the mountain, like at the ending shot. But there's also supposed to be next to that stable, there's supposed to be a shrine. But it's not actually seen in the trailer. Now that could mean that the shrines and the Sheikah Towers and all that stuff are gone, but it could also mean that Nintendo just kind of got rid of them for the trailers and then brought them back. We saw the same thing with Breath of the Wild originally. You saw no shrines really, all that stuff wasn't really seen because of the trailer. So maybe they're gone, maybe they're still there, I don't know. And if they're gone, then I'm curious why. Because like Malice is spewing out everywhere, and like it's supposed to be some sort of defense system that automatically activates as soon as it detects Calamity Ganon or Malice, and that stuff is literally everywhere, spewing outside of like beneath Hyrule Castle and out of Death Mountain. So why is the defense system not activated, and why are the towers and everything not there? Get it?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know that the stuff you see spewing out is Malice.
It could also be Sprite. You're right.
I was gonna say.
Red's
Good
right.
comeback.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, but in terms of the thing about talking about Sheikah Tech, let's be honest, it's gone. And the reason why it's gone is we've already been there, we've done that. What's the point of having something that's we've already completed? All the Sheikah shrines are empty. So we know how to solve the puzzles.
So, because the shrines were how we like got like spirit orbs and all that, so to like get upgrades, how's that gonna play into the game
Sky.
now? Ooh, so.
Sky,
Oh, that's true.
definitely Sky.
Boom!
Probably.
Pieces of harder back.
Oh.
Yeah!
Oh.
And now that
Hunting
you're
it
part
down.
robot, you don't need a stamina meter. Done.
Well, if we go from
Yo, don't do that,
purely-
Austin. I want that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna be mad when that doesn't happen now.
But we also kind of need a reason, like how does Link like lose all of his health and stamina? So like.
Well, I do wonder like how the game's gonna start to begin with, because like I still it would be cool if we picked off where like they were gonna go to Zora's domain, like Vavruta stopped working. I kind of want to see that. I mean, obviously we know why it stopped working, because the champions, their souls rested in peace at the end. No one's there to like pilot Ruta, and the like you said, the Sheikah Tech, it's like there's no point for it now because we've already gone through all that. But I still kind of want to. I want the game to sort of like pick up there, so because I'm just curious.
I remember
Well, plus we know, like, if we purely go like from a nerdy lore perspective, we know that there's like a central control unit in Hyrule Castle,
Yeah.
which controls all the shrines, all the towers, and they, Wiley said, they activate based on it's a defense system. So if Hyrule Castle is severed from the rest of it, and like Ganon takes over the whole thing, it could mean that they just retracted back into the ground after that.
That's a very good argument why that happened.
Hyrule Castle's in the air. They ain't got Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Bro, Bluetooth wasn't that good back then.
My two cents on each of those subjects. How do we get back to like level 1 in Tears of the Kingdom? That's easy. Yo, Link got his ass beat by Ganondorf, and he ripped off a whole arm. Yo, that's a good enough reason for me. It's like, oh, now you're level 1 again. You got that big of an ass whooping. Like that's it. Right?
I mean, it's at least 3 hearts. Ripping off an arm, at least 3 hearts off him.
Well, I
Like,
mean, you
Link
could also
almost
just
died.
2.5.
Yeah,
could
Link
even
almost
be-
died in
I
that
believe
confrontation.
a lot, because remember back in the DLC for the first game, like you lost your health like to 1/4 of a heart when you had the one-hit obliterator, like. So I believe that.
Well, it could also be because it could also be that Link loses all of his stuff, all of his power, because he gets sucked up by corpse daddy Ganondorf.
Right. And then
Like he gets awakened and then he gets like almost eaten by Malice like completely. So maybe he just drained all that energy. Ganondorf is like, I need this, and then uses it, and then you just lose all that stuff and end up in a new Shrine of Resurrection type scenario. That could
right,
also
it's
be
like,
it.
yo, nice Spirit of the Hero, my boy, yoink.
Whoa, I like these orbs, and I didn't like doing the shrines. This is perfect.
And then
Look at all those spirit orbs.
This is better than an Austin John Plays guide.
my other 2 cents on the whole like Sheikah Tech, where is it at? I feel like it's also very simple, like combining everything what you guys have been saying. Ganondorf wakes up and he's mad, like he's incredibly mad, because I feel that he saw everything that went down in the original Breath of the Wild. So when he wakes up, he's basically like Scarlet Witch from X-Men. He's like, no more mutants, and just like destroys everything Sheikah Tech related. And that maybe the only thing that could survive that could be the Divine Beast. But then I feel the reason why there's malice spewing out of Death Mountain is because it's actually coming out of Vah Rudania, right? And then like, hey guys, we're gonna have to save the Divine Beasts again. Go Power Rangers.
No.
And then I feel that's what's going down. And that Ganondorf is using those Divine Beasts as each of them as a conduit to spew malice at 4 very important parts of the world. So that's what I think is going down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hard disagree with that.
Oh.
Because it's not malice, it's
No,
super malice. Like,
All right,
No,
hang on.
This is not how you draw people into a game. A
Breath of the
sequel.
Wild,
Mhm.
right? Breath of the Wild is dope as hell. 4 corners, crazy shit goes down. It's it's taking 3 to 5 to 6 years for them to now work on expanding the Z-axis and making it higher.
Mhm.
They're not gonna go back to the same plot. He knows that he has to follow up the Game of the Year. They're not gonna recycle content like
Yeah,
that.
that makes sense.
And it
Honestly,
took
I
5
think-
years.
I
I
think
mean, Super Mario Galaxy 2 kind of did, and that was amazing.
But that's Mario.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not-
Super
but I'm
Mario
not-
that
Galaxy,
had the number 2 in the name.
Right,
yeah,
but
Super
the
Mario
thing is,
Galaxy is different from a Zelda title because Super Mario is nothing else but a story that doesn't actually matter, genius level design, and just like all kinds of wild ideas and just using them in all kinds of levels and then ditching them immediately. That's what Super Mario has always been. So for Super Mario, that's less important.
And
You're
then-
Right.
recycling
And then
through stuff.
you go play golf with the guy who kidnapped your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird
No,
relationship.
now here's the thing, because like I feel like you guys are getting it a little twisted, where I'm not saying that that's going to be the main thing in which we have to save all Divine Beasts again, and then we fight Ganon just like in Breath of the Wild 2. No, I'm just saying that's going to be just like in the original Breath of the Wild. I'm just saying that's going to be one of the problems that we're going to have to deal with in Tears of the Kingdom, not
No,
the focal
HMK,
one.
I'm here to misinterpret you and then attack you verbally. So
Wouldn't be the first
no,
time.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. We have to chill down a bit
Yeah,
because
I
I think a lot of people that are not in the Zelda community are caring about something else,
Mhm.
and that is this place is empty. Where there's like I think people are concerned that this game is going to be empty, even more empty than Breath of the Wild in the sky.
Yeah,
Because
that's definitely
how
one of
do
the
you have-
critiques I want them to fix in Breath of the Wild too, especially when it comes to that enemy variety,
Definitely enemy
dungeons, and then like spinning off enemy variety. Listen, I want to get creeped out again. Like trust me, I have arachnophobia, and I had to deal with Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess and whatnot. But I want Skulltulas to come back. I want likes to come back. I want Dark Knights to come back. I want Pose to come back. Give me where are all of the Redeads? All right. Bring back all the creepy enemies, and also those Eldritch horrors that were the concept art of the Guardians in the first game. I want those to be enemies in Breath of the Wild too, in Tears of the Kingdom. So like enemy variety, loading up the world with things to do and things to see and things in general, I'd be down for it. But I want to feel like I'm confident that Nintendo heard that loud and clear and is going to be working on that. I mean, I would assume so after it being what do you call it, 6 years. And yeah, Conrad, I see it. Like, trust me, Armor Goma doesn't phase me anymore. But back in the day, I'm just like, bro, nah.
Didn't we only have 5 different types of enemies in Breath of the Wild?
Lizalfos,
Bokoblins,
Bokoblins, Moblins,
Lizalfos, Keese, and Lynels.
Wizrobe.
No, the
Lynels,
wizard guy,
Wizrobes,
We're up to 6.
Choo-choo.
Talus,
Choo-choo.
Talus,
Yeah.
Choo-Choos.
Well,
No, we're not counting mini bosses.
Not
Okay,
no
so
overworld
all right, so no
bosses,
Hinox, so no
18 in
Hinoxes.
total.
Keys.
Wait,
I'm about-
Yeah.
We're still in
Keese.
like 6, 7 maybe.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Like,
Keys,
Brain.
Choo-choos, Moblins, Bokoblins, Lizalfos. That's pretty much
Yeah,
it. And
you
and
could
probably
you could experience a greater enemy variety in like any temple in Skyward Sword.
yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure,
And
Oh,
all
for
of Zelda
sure.
NES as
No
well.
enemies in the dungeons
One,
that
two,
you
three.
do for divine beasts, and they're only like
Alright.
the guardians and those cursed skulls.
Heads.
Oh,
But,
you
like-
mean the
Four.
reskinned
Alright.
Keese?
5.
All right, here
Well,
we
but
go.
it
We
also
have
it also ruins the surprise a lot because like in Ocarina of Time they kept introducing new enemies all the way to the very end. Like even in the Spirit Temple you still encounter a brand new enemy, and it just doesn't make sense that you have all these different provinces with different climates. You want to you would expect that there's certain enemies that have that are native to that region only. Like why are they not there? There's a few overworld bosses like the Moldugo, but that's about it.
You have
Right.
in total,
There
I have
were
it here
4
on
Molduga.
Zelda Wiki.
Yeah.
You have, and then varieties of, Bokoblins, Moblins, Lizalfos, Stal, Cursed.
I don't count
Choo-choo,
style. I don't count
Keese.
style.
No,
Okay,
they just
Stal then.
Ah,
I don't
it's the
count
same
Stal
thing.
then.
What's
Even though
that?
they work differently. Well, that's like Stal Goblins. Like,
Yes, style Bokoblin, style Lizalfos. That's right. They're just
Choo-choo.
variants.
11,
Keese,
11,
Octorok,
11.
Wizrobes, Peblets,
11.
Lionel, Guardians, Yiga. In total, it says 13 here, but you could write off Cursed, and Stal is also arguable.
11.
So then you end up
I'm
with
also
11.
now considering a rock that you pick up an enemy.
Yeah, Pebble. That's
Well,
why
yeah.
that's why I didn't count Peblets either.
The best case for like
Oh,
to just
Octorok.
the best
Yeah,
case to
gotcha.
show how bad the variety is there are 8 or 9 different types of Lizalfos.
I believe that.
I think
They're
they.
just
I
a
think.
skin color change.
I think well, it's the tiers of the more difficult ones, and then there's the elemental ones. I think that's the one enemy in the game that has the most types, and it's like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There was a greater enemy variety in the original Legend of Zelda NES.
man.
It was just
I
a
just think-
testing phase, you guys. Trust me. Tears of the Kingdom is gonna be good.
I guess
Not
I-
not even including the underworld.
No, I just want creepy stuff, please. I just want
Well,
the
not
creeps
just
in
I
the
kind of want
walls.
darkness to come back, honestly.
Yes, I was just
Yeah.
about to say I want like
Darkness,
the
man,
type
mostly.
of like humanoid enemies that you can actually duel, like Dark Nuts, Iron Knuckles, stuff like that. That would be
Oh, can
really
you
dope.
imagine how cool they would be in like the current era, what Nintendo can do, and like the way more advanced AI that they have now, where they can actually like interpret stuff around them and then use it in ways that it's useful. For example, Bokoblins who are like explosive barrel, hello, light my weapon on fire, hello, stuff like that. And then an enemy like that, which is supposed to be even smarter. Oh, Ooh.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of curious, like what you guys think, because I was talking to Zeltik and he was like, "Yeah, you know, we are Zelda YouTubers. We're like, this is our thing. We are gonna buy this game either way, and it's we're all super excited. Like we're all super excited. We're just happy to see new Zelda. But like for a more casual, like someone who just played Breath of the Wild, they liked it and they moved on. Like, do you guys think this teaser was enough to sell this game to a more casual audience? Because it does kind of look like something that could just be a very big DLC. You have the original overworld, some islands above that, and that's it.
This was not a teaser. This was a glorified name reveal.
Yep.
And you are not going to hear a gosh dang dilly dang thing about Tears of the Kingdom until first quarter next year.
I agree.
The Game Awards.
No,
the Game Awards. The Game Awards.
No.
You're not gonna hear official marketing from Nintendo until next year.
All right,
Listen,
there you go.
and you know
Because
why?
right now they're
Austin,
this
Austin,
direct.
I agree with you. And the reason is very simple. Nintendo's pretty much pulled out of the Game Awards. They're only doing sponsored presentations right now. It's just like the sponsored section. So what you're going to see of Tears of the Kingdom at the Game Awards is literally this trailer. And that's it.
We didn't have the E3 Direct that we typically have, but that influenced the Direct that we just had. The Direct that we just had wasn't our typical September Direct, which is dry and thrown back in your face everything that you've seen that they want you to buy before December 24th. Instead, it was showing more things. Granted, there were large chunks of it saying about what's coming out when, but also we had a lot of TBDs, we had a lot of 2023s, and we had a lot of Q1 2023s in this Direct, which has never happened in a September Direct. September Direct was always, buy this shit.
True.
Holiday.
I was.
But we're not going to see anything about this game until the February Direct.
I agree.
We might have a mid-January Direct, or there's always the second week of February Direct. I remember that because it always messes up my Valentine's Day plans.
Ooh.
Well, I hope we will get, like, all right, I'll throw my cards on the table. I hope that we get something in November, something like that, because the last 3 months of the year are always good money on YouTube, so it would be nice.
Yeah. Wishful thinking, I agree.
It would be nice for a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they will have like an interview with Miyamoto or
I hope so.
sorry, Aonuma?
I hope so, yeah.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
That man really
You
doesn't
are
come out
not
of
going
his
to
cave.
see anything until
I
Q1
agree.
next year.
Well, yeah, I mean, like.
I agree.
From a
Like-
business and marketing standpoint, why would they?
I
And
feel like
remember,
once
people, Austin is a very good source. He has a drone flying around Nintendo headquarters. He hears everything.
No.
Don't give it away.
I can explain. Let me just explain things a little bit when it comes to all of this.
Don't put me on
Number
like that,
one-
dude.
Yeah, no. There's a couple of things we need to keep in mind here. One, launch in mid-May. That means that I just don't see us seeing the game before they actually need to start marketing it. So at the latest, February. And when it comes to Nintendo, they are usually doing at the latest. So we're probably gonna get something in January or February, depending on Direct or a new Switch model reveal, because maybe it might launch with Zelda. Who knows? People have been speculating that the game looks too good, the draw distance is too good compared to what the Switch can handle, so on and so on. Secondly, they know that doing that dedicated Direct for games has worked really well this year. You see it with Xenoblade, see it with Splatoon 3. I think they're planning to do the exact same with Zelda. So yes, we see it one more time, and then we have a massive blowout, say a month before the game launches in April. That's when we get that big Zelda Direct that we have all dreamed and hoped for, but we've never gotten at this point.
Dedicated directs aren't new. You're just not realizing that they reskinned the Nintendo Treehouse.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
exactly
not
though.
entirely wrong.
Nintendo Treehouse was typically like 30 to 90 minutes of them expressing things about the game, talking about the development, how it actually plays,
But that was
what
more
their
of a let's
plan is
play,
for
though.
it.
Yeah, it's like
That was more of a let's play.
They were also talking about like how it was made, and there's trailers, and they throw it in the middle. Yeah, but like also that's following the E3 Direct that you just got all the marketing, and now you're seeing the gameplay. They're combining that, and boom, dedicated directs.
And you know, something to
right?
consider when it comes to like Nintendo's whole marketing strategy. I agree with y'all when y'all say like we're probably not gonna see like anything substantial Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom related into like, you know, either I feel like late January, early February, because they're gonna take that chunk in order to like focus on marketing Fire Emblem Engage, which comes out in like January next year, right? So they're gonna probably take November, December, January, that, and then once that game is out and about, they'll have a little cooldown period for, you know, them selling the game and whatnot, and then they're gonna start focusing on Tears of the Kingdom as their next, you know, big game going into May.
No, they're clearly pushing this is your summer game. They don't need you to buy it week 1. Doesn't it come out like 2 weeks before Memorial Day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not American.
Mid-May,
It's May
mid-May.
12th. It's May 12th, so it's like 2 weeks.
All right, so 3 weeks before Memorial Day. I don't think they're pushing. Well, in fact, they're not pushing for an immediate quick up sale, because that always happens on their late September through early November releases. The games they don't care about so much, they come out December, January, February, but they're slating this to be a long seller, like they did for the original Breath of the Wild, but also that was with hardware. And then I feel like you're going to see, it's going to be one of those games that you're going to hear a lot about from casual people, or people that are more casual are going to watch people like us talk about the game, play the game, and they're like, well, I have summer off, I might as well pick it up.
With that said, though, are we all in agreement that we can expect them to announce an expansion pass for the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before the game
I
comes
think near the
out.
end of the year, just like they did with the original Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
In
fact, they already kind of
I
confirmed that.
I think they'll even announce it, but like before the game even launches, just like, hey.
Oh, I
Zelda
know.
Direct.
No.
Zelda Direct.
I don't think they're gonna announce DLC
Zelda
before
Direct.
it comes
Well,
out.
they did for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so I'm like, I wouldn't.
Zelda Direct.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
just-
put. I wouldn't put.
Whoa! Hang on. Xenoblade isn't a system seller. Breath of the Wild
Splatoon.
was the
Splatoon
system
is.
seller.
For a
Splatoon
game
is.
that has 3 titles, I'm like, I would agree entirely, but it's just like I wouldn't put
Splatoon
it past
is.
No,
Nintendo.
Xenoblade is not a system
Like
seller.
I wouldn't put.
I
past
agree with
Nintendo,
Austin.
But either way, I wouldn't put it past them to like announce.
Yo, Dom, they're killing us here.
Screw Xenoblade.
No, I'm not
No,
saying
no.
Xenoblade is a
Crowd.
bad game.
I'm not.
I
I
get it.
know.
I get it.
I'm just saying, it's not a Pokemon, it's not a Mario, it's not a Zelda, it's not a system seller.
It is to
well, I
me.
But
The system sellers are just like the Triforce of Nintendo, which is just the ones
But-
that Austin
Mario,
just
Zelda,
mentioned.
and Pokemon.
Yeah.
But guys,
and Splatoon.
Splatoon definitely is,
Yes,
and it
it
was the
is.
same marketing cycle as Xenoblade. So if we're gonna look at Splatoon, developed by Nintendo, killing it in Japan right now when it comes to sales, 3.5 million. It's the biggest opening. It's even beating Pokemon right now when it comes to the opening of yes, it's sold more than any Pokemon. I know.
Oh, you mean those games that don't exist yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean those two. But up to that point, this is the best-selling game ever in Japan, Splatoon 3.
Which is crazy.
Like, you can't underestimate the popularity of that franchise. And in the West, it's the same with Zelda.
Yeah.
I would say that Zelda is like the American combination of an RPG meets an adventure game. It would have been an RPG like Xenoblade, but you have the adventure concept for the American audience. Plus, I mean, come on, it's a first-person shooter. First-person shooters are so hot. You don't play Fork Knife?
Third person.
Okay. So
Fortnite is dead.
with that said, guys, I'll wrap up pretty quickly. Do we have anything else we want to discuss about the trailer or anything else about the game that we were hoping for to hopefully be announced or revealed or whatever?
We're not.
Any last?
We're not gonna be like we were at PAX, drunk after the show floor, hanging out at the house, just
That
BSing about
is
it for 4.5 hours.
That was so much fun.
That is after the.
That was fun. That was the last thing we did before COVID ruined everything. I haven't traveled since even.
Yeah,
which
that
makes me
was
kind
great.
I heard that Zeltik actually came over to
Oh yeah,
Your
he
place,
spent
Austin.
he spent 4th of July, American Independence Day with us, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he told me.
Wow.
Like a friend of his or something woke up on the ground or like, or something.
Wow.
heard it
one
was
of them
pretty nuts.
one of them lost their wallet and was like freaking out. He was able to get home and everything, but was like, we went to this crazy shore party and we were at like 4 other places, and I can't find my wallet. Dude, it was next to the couch.
Yeah, Ed said it was like pathetic how easily it was to find.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Do we have any last-minute thoughts about the game or the trailer or anything that we want to throw in there before we wrap up?
I'm glad we're able to talk about it again, and I just love the box art. I love that artwork.
Oh,
I
Yeah, the
love,
box art is crazy good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
Those brush strokes look real nice.
Yeah, I like.
You guys
I like
got the high-res
paint
file
look.
from my I sent you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Of
Thanks.
course.
I got a thumbnail with that.
Yeah, boy snatches that immediately.
Every box is looking good except for Germany.
Yeah,
I know,
Germany got
that's
hit pretty
tragic.
hard.
What's
So,
the
have
German
you
box art
noticed
look?
that the
Bro!
have you noticed that the Japanese logo doesn't have the Master Sword in it? It's only for the
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Western
OG
version.
one. They have the OG one.
Oh,
Wait. This is the German box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is there just... Do you think once it finally gets its PEGI rating, it's going to be much smaller?
no.
No,
I-
that's
I-
exactly what it is.
It's always that big.
Ew, why does
Yeah,
Germany
that thing
make
is
them so
that
big?
the
It's like-
German rating is like huge.
Don't buy physical games in Germany.
It-
Anywhere else in Europe, it's fine. Not in Germany.
Even
Yeah, I was about to
even-
say, in the Netherlands, they're like, I don't know, this small, like very, very small.
Yeah.
Do you just
Yeah,
have the
look,
regular
in-
PEGI rating?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the PEGI rating. It's the same as
Wait, where the hell
ESRB.
is my box? No, we
Germany
just
takes
have,
that
we
stuff
just have
very
this.
seriously.
Yeah, and that's tame.
Yeah, the PEGI.
It's like as big as
Yeah,
my
yeah,
finger.
It's,
Like,
it's,
it's almost-
yeah.
it's the same size as ESRB
Yeah.
ratings here in the US.
And the Japanese, the SIBO is even smaller than that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love the Japanese ones.
Okay.
Well, it's clear that Germans are blind.
Shiza.
You know, I think
Yeah.
it's
Japanese.
I think it's kind of funny how the Japanese trailer usually, like in this case for the Zelda trailer, but like for any trailer, it doesn't include that like rating at the beginning, and it also doesn't include like the little text at the bottom that says like this game footage is not final. Like yeah, they don't need to be reminded of that, but we do, like for the Western versions.
Well, it could be
they-
because of legal reasons.
yeah, it's probably
It
a,
could be
a
different
legal thing.
legislatively.
It's
That
definitely a
makes
legal
sense.
thing for sure.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny.
Yeah. Well, guys.
I mean, America is quite strict when it comes to that.
Well, guys, I think that's gonna wrap up our discussions for today. How about we just go around in a circle again, just to say who we are and where we can find you on the internet. Anything you're working on that's Zelda related or anything like that. Just go ahead and just plug yourself and tell us where we can find you.
Same order, so Austin.
Austin, go for it.
Once again, I've been Austin John from the YouTube channel Austin John Plays. I'm doing nothing about Zelda until next year because guess what? Nintendo isn't either. So after next year, we're gonna go ham like I'm making a brajol.
He's the go-to person for all the Korok seed guides.
I don't. That's the one guide I don't do. I don't do the Korok seed. Listen, you want Korok seeds? Go the Zelda Dungeon interactive map. I hear they're gonna do it again.
Go watch Beer Bear's
Zelda Master.
Or
8-hour
ZeldaMaps.com.
YouTube guide.
That's the site that ZU uses. This is ZeldaMaps.com. I'm plugging myself there. But yeah,
Do you have a map?
yeah, it's ZeldaMaps.com.
I've
Anyway,
actually used that one mostly.
yeah, and we have improved it. Conrad, where we're gonna find
All right, so yeah, this was Conrad of the Commonwealth Realm, and if you want to get really inside Tears of the Kingdom, well, check it out.
you. At the-
Oh, I like this map.
Well, this was Dr. Wiley. Yeah, the strangest man out of the Netherlands. More Breath of the Wild, well, Tears of the Kingdom coming soon. I got a couple of ideas, but after that, yeah, I mean, as soon as this trailer is milk dry, I'm sorry, boys. We can't go on forever, but soon enough. Next year.
Hey guys, it's HMK. You can find me over at HMKilla on anything, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all that good jazz and stuff. And obviously, I'm going to be talking a lot about Tears of the Kingdom for as much as I can, but luckily, that's not the only thing I talk about. I'm also going to be talking a lot about Kingdom Hearts 4, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as we're going into the DLC and beyond. But I hope you guys are going to have a good time with that, and I hope you guys have a good time watching all of our individual channels.
You can find me on YouTube, Monster Maze. Sure, I will be covering Tears of the Kingdom, obviously. Not too much. I'm mostly going to focus on gameplay, because I'm going to leave the lore a little bit on the side, because I think it's very speculative right now. I'm going to wait for the other detectives to find all that stuff. I have a big video about a potential dungeon maker for Zelda, akin to Mario Maker, which is in the works right now. Has a lot of cool animation stuff. Be sure to check that one out when it comes out in the coming weeks. So that's about it.
You can find me mostly at Twitter, NintendoBlockC, or my YouTube channel, Nintendo Block Crisis. I kind of just upload whatever I think of. Kind of hard to think of ideas, trying to space things out, not get everything done, or you're just kind of burnt out. So I mean, whenever I get an idea, hopefully I'll get some Tears of the Kingdom stuff up, but still thinking of ideas. So.
But most importantly, you can find all of us on Telegram who have very special gifts for you.
Don't do it.
Become scammed.
Don't do that. Don't do that. They will
the
watch this
worst.
and they will come
Free
to our channel.
PlayStation 6s, everyone.
All right. With that said, guys, thank you all for watching. And as always, please leave a like on the video and add a comment below and tell us what you think about Tears of the Kingdom. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time.